Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and the Patriots set up for a big time Sunday night football showdown against the Buffalo Bills. But could they be without three pivotal starters in that matchup? We take a look at Drake May and Josh Allen and how far off the path that Drake is from the current MVP. And we take a look at Christian Gonzalez's return to the lineup and how far away we could be to the development of Gonzo Island. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for the channel to get all the latest New England information sent to your inbox each day. Get in the comments and let us know what you think about the Pats injury report, the Sunday night showdown, who's going to come away with the win, and what do you think are your score predictions? Is Drake May on that path to Josh Allen level success? And do the Patriots need to use the kid gloves when it comes to Christian Gonzalez? Also, make sure you give us that like and go back and check out all of our old episodes after this one. We start with the look at that injury report and upwards of 3+ starters potentially missing this game. The two big ones to start off with: K'Lavon Chaisson out with that knee injury, did not participate in practice. Obviously going to play it slow with him. I think still has the opportunity to get cleared for the game. And with Josh Allen on the opposite side of the ball, they need as many pass rushers as possible. One very much unlikely to play in the game is safety Jalen Hawkins, suffering that hamstring injury in the Carolina Panthers game. Came out and did not return. Do not expect him to suit up for the game. Could push Kyle Duggar into his first start of the season, something he's very much used to doing, but again, was on the roster bubble, has seen the field sparingly. Could be a big time return for him. Along the offensive line, guard Jared Wilson, who missed last week as well with ankle and knee issues, gave way to Ben Brown, who played well at the left guard spot, but Wilson had limited participation, so it looks like Vrabel will have a decision on his hands who to start at that left guard spot, and we'll keep an eye on that. The starting defensive tackles for the Patriots, both Milton Williams with the ankle and Christian Barmore, his non-injury related and usually getting those Wednesdays off, both did not, or excuse me, both had limited participation on Wednesday, but expect both to suit up. Several others who are on the injury report, including Will Campbell, Marte Mapu, Mike Onwenu, and Jelani Tavai, who is working his way back, could make his return and season debut here as he works back from the IR with that calf injury. All had full participation. Expect all to dress for that game. So again, Tavai could be making his return. Would not be shocking if they did slow play it another week, making sure he knows that system before they get into it. But all in all, those three starters we'll keep an eye on to see if the Patriots can get to fairly full strength against the Buffalo Bills. And speaking of that big time matchup on Sunday night, it is going to be a daunting one. Obviously, a huge AFC East battle, and something that Mike Vrabel took to heart and was not shying away from it, mentioning that, the Bills are a different team when playing in Buffalo, and it's been 14 games since they've lost against anybody in that building, and the Patriots will have their work cut out for them. But everyone looking to strive for the challenge, and this is definitely a different Patriots team, one that seemingly matches up well with teams. There's not that fear of getting blown out at times. And Milton Williams added to it as well when asked about the matchup, saying, "These are my favorite type of games." It's been a while since the Patriots have had those primetime matchups, and since Sunday Night Football, it's been a few years. And looking to reestablish that in front of the eyes of America and the world, really, of what are the Patriots now. And it's not the 2019 and Tom Brady Super Bowl champions. It's not the Bill Belichick and Mac Jones years. It's not the Gerard Mayo team. This is a different culture and different team. And as Milton Williams put, it's a chance to perform, as he said, in the lights in prime time. He said, everybody's watching. These are the type of games that I live for, is what Milton said. It's going to be good. Division opponent, it'll be a good one. And it will be a challenge, obviously, but I think it's one that Drake May and everyone is looking forward to. And don't be surprised if it's more competitive than the line or anything else might lead you to believe. This is a division battle. This is something that Vrabel is going to have that team ready for. And yes, it's going to be very daunting because the Bills, for the past few years, have been one of the best teams in the AFC, if not the entire NFL. But it is a chance to stamp your flag, and as long as you play them tough, it shows the rest of the NFL that this team is for real. And should you be able to pull that upset, there is a real chance that not only do the Patriots have that playoffs path in front of them with 10 or 11 wins, but an early win against the favorites and gives you a path potentially to the AFC East crown. We're talking about crowns, we're talking about hypotheticals, and I know this is a lot, especially for a 4-win team on back-to-back seasons, but it's because of these similarities between Drake May and Josh Allen that we're talking about these in this vein. And, when Drake was asked about Josh Allen, the quote was, "Golly, it's fun watching him." And that's very much the most Drake May thing you could hear, but he said he got to know him and they share a lot of the same things. He said he's a great player. He makes some great plays every week. Sadly, you say it's fun to watch him, but we got to play him on Sunday. So different mindset. So again, Drake understands that as well. And now these are mobile quarterbacks, bigger guys at 6'4". I think you give the edge to Josh Allen, maybe in the physicality department, but the arm talent is there. Obviously, more arm strength for Josh Allen, but I think when it comes to sheer, you know, arm talent, you might actually give the edge to Drake May. And I think both have the acumen and football minds to develop and process things quickly. And now you're seeing with an offensive line in front of him, Drake is starting to make the right decisions. And even Stephon Diggs was asked about the similarities, and he said, "I see the similarities. I try not to get into player comparisons, but I see that they all play with that mindset, that dog mindset." And he said, "I see Drake coming along that same way." And obviously, Stephon Diggs knows Josh Allen very well, playing in Buffalo, and he sees it. And there's a reason why you're starting to see Stephon Diggs return to form and get that 100-yard game under his belt, because Drake May is starting to play like Josh Allen, which he had in Buffalo. Not to say that they are the same player or that Drake May will even reach that same path, but he is at least on it. And especially in the first 4 weeks of this NFL season, Drake May is showing that, along with having a new offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, a new head coach, a new offensive line, and new weapons, that there is similarity, and it will be a big time storyline that you will hear plenty about on Sunday Night Football. And finally, we end with Christian Gonzalez and his return against the Carolina Panthers and what that did for the defense and what they're able to do as a unit. One game down for him, looks strong, playing 70% of those snaps. Obviously, want to kind of maintain that balance if possible. But again, against a top flight team, you might just say, we got to pull out all the stops and you're going to be out there for everything. And one of the matchups that Christian Gonzalez could be on is Keon Coleman, the second-year wide receiver out of Florida State, which is starting to step up more for the Bills. Obviously, they run more of that scheme where it's a little bit about everybody. Dalton Kincaid really stepping up as a big-time tight end and receiving option. Khalil Shakir, that smaller slot. Honestly, it plays a little bit like the Patriots, where it could be a little bit of everything. Could be Josh Palmer. Could be Moore. It could be Keon Coleman. But Coleman is one that catches people's eyes as the, second round draft pick from last year. And Gonzalez was asked about him. He said he's looked good, he's improved, he's always working, he's always getting those releases in and just trying to get better himself, just like everybody else. And he says he's excited for the matchup and it'll be fun. And, it might be not quite a shadow, but when you end up on that side, and on the opposite side is going to be Carlton Davis. And he's had some ups and downs, but mostly ups for the Patriots this season. And the fun part is, for Davis and for Gonzalez, they get to play more of cat coverage, right? It's man on man in that sense. Cat coverage is the phrase that Gonzalez used, and he said, we always are as a corner. That's what you want, that cat coverage, that man on man, that island coverage. You want to be on that island, is what he said. That's the nature of our position. So, of course, we're ready for it. And if they do anything like they did against the Panthers, they will have a good opportunity at it. Now, it is much different because the Panthers had Ted McMillan to worry about, and again, showed flashes, but the Patriots front seven was able to bring enough pressure to keep him off his spots and force some errant throws. That's not going to be the case with Josh Allen, so that cover is going to be tight, need to be tighter. The DBs are going to have to bat away a few more balls. But again, it will be similar in that, you don't know a lot of those names. I just ran through the list and they've been around. But Josh Allen will fire it into anybody, and he's expecting them to come away with that. So hopefully we do see the return of not a Revis Island, but a Gonzo Island in that sense, and making life difficult for Josh Allen because all facets, special teams, obviously Marcus Jones, getting that special teams player of the week. Congratulations to him. But special teams, defense, offense, coaching staff, trainers, everybody's going to have to be on their games this week to ensure that they can be competitive against the Bills. And if they do everything right, could be in position to pull a big time upset on Sunday night. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel so you're getting all this info each day and know what's going on with your Patriots. Get in the comments. Let us know what you think about the comparisons from Drake May to Josh Allen, Christian Gonzalez, if they're pushing him too fast, and what you think of the Patriots' chances of making the playoffs and actually competing for the AFC East. And if you have questions, throw them in there and we'll answer them right here on the show. Give us that like and go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know what's going on with your Pats. We'll continue to have it all for you right here. Fight on, Foxborough.